I'm gonna give you a little tool review. One of my favorite tools. I don't use it all that often, but when I do, I sure appreciate it. It's the Makita 36-volt track saw. Not sure what the model on it is, but it's got two 18-volt batteries in it. Same batteries that I use in my drills and fine tool and impact driver. And if you're not familiar with the track saw, here's the track that it rides on. It's got, give you a close-up view there. The saw sits down inside of this and it slides on the track. And the magic of this is it basically replaces a table saw. Building remote property here, and while I do have a little table saw and I sure appreciate it for doing things like cutting sheets of plywood, the little tiny table saw is a real pain. As you know, if you ever tried to rip a large sheet of plywood on a small table saw, it's pretty difficult to do a good job. So this track saw, as you saw in the video there, you basically can just lay it down on a piece of wood. You just line up the edge, put your marks on your sheet of plywood or your sheet good. Doesn't have to be a sheet good too. You can do it on, if you're ripping a 2x6 or 2x8 or anything, it can easily cut through 1.5 inch material. But you just line up this edge on your line. It's got a built-in straight edge, and the saw blade basically rides along this edge of, that's a rubber edge there, and it rides right along there, cutting perfectly straight. And I basically never clamp it down. It's got a little bit of foam, kind of sticky foam on the bottom, so it stays in position pretty well. And as you can see, it's super fast, super easy, perfect for the kind of work that I do, which is not a lot of sheet good work. And when I do, it's usually in a place like this. I'm actually cutting up some old scrap plywood that was on the property, and I'm building some trays for organizing things in. And these were triangular shaped pieces of wood with rough edges, which would be hard to cut on a table saw because there's not really a good clean straight edge on the plywood. So the track saw is just the perfect tool for it. These haven't been around a super long time, at least I haven't been familiar with them. The whole track saw concept was new to me just a few years ago, really. And obviously they were battery powered at first, and now the cordless ones, which is really, really awesome. I gotta say, it's like a cordless skill saw, my other favorite tool. 36-volt cordless skill saw. This is not a tool that you really want to have cords on, even if you have power nearby. Just the simplicity of no cords to worry about when you're doing long cuts. If you've ever used a corded router and then had the opportunity to use a cordless router, not having that cable to be careful of and get tangled up when you're doing long movements is super nice. And that's the same with this thing. It's got a lot of features. It can cut angles. You can set depth stops on it, how deep you want to cut. But for 90% of my use, it's just all about making a quick, efficient, easy, perfectly straight cut through, something from 1.5 inch to, 1/8 inch plywood even. This plywood was, I think it's 1/2 inch, and it just rips through it like it's nothing. So that's the basics of it. There's a lot of details there that you could find in someone else's detailed review video. This model is XPS01. I've had it for probably 3 years now. It doesn't get a lot of use, but it's really handy. Super fast, easy. Comes in a nice little case that sits down in. And this is I think how long is this track? 55-inch track. And I think they make an 8 foot or maybe even longer. I just don't, like I said, hardly ever rip 8 foot long sheets of plywood. When I do, I just lay the track down, cut most of the way, move the track ahead, and finish the cut. And I'm thrilled with this thing. Love it.